My hand is under the back, helping the back to loosen up. I'm working with the breath. I wouldn't normally take my hand away. I'm demonstrating for you there. In and out. Turn the head slightly, please, Moya. That's right. Hand back to there. As Moya breathes out, a little bit more pressure. A little bit more pressure. Check the arm is at 45 degrees, no more than that. I don't want to put too much strain on the shoulder. If it is too much, I can put the hand there. That's right. But Moya is quite capable of doing this stretch. So, taking the knee down to the floor, there, it's on the floor now. Then all I need to do is a little bit of pressure on the hip, and I can do a stretch, if and only if the recipient is capable of this stretch. There, it's a stretch. Spinal stretch, the full spinal stretch, interlinked with our MEX exercises, muscle elongation exercises. There. Lovely cross stretch. Never allow the arm to go more than 45 degrees. Now I'm going to put Moya fully into that side position by lifting the arm up. There. And there's a nice comfortable position. There she is, in the side position. I'm going to do shoulder rotation next. No, I'm not. I'm going to do something else next. I'll do the shoulder rotation in a minute. I'm going to work on the legs first. To the outside of that leg, I'm going to straddle, and then I can get perpendicular pressure on the outside there. Perpendicular, that's right. Notice my position, notice my foot position. I'm leaving the shoulder there because Moya and I just asked, is it alright? Yes, it's quite comfortable for her to lie like that. If not, I'd have to keep her in the actual side position, but she's in a state of stretch now. Palming, outside leg, using perpendicular pressure, mother hand, child hand. Now, notice, I'm going to use the thumbs. Notice how my forearm is perpendicular to Moya's thigh. I'm using gentle thumb technique there. Boom, 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 down the points. Necessary points to work, that's right. Boom, boom, boom. Still, although I'm going quite quickly, I'm still working with the breath. There is coordination between the breath. Now the inside leg, I'll use the palm, as I say. I don't like to use the thumbs. Palming the inside leg. I don't like you to use the thumbs in the initial stages, let's put it that way. You have to be quite skilled to use the thumbs on the inside leg. And you have to check also, of course, for varicose veins and things like that, which we don't want to interfere with. We need to prepare the surface at all times before we go deeper. Palming is superficial, thumb work is much deeper. Mother hand is on the hip, working there. There's a couple of points on the inside of the calf I'm working with the thumb. Not too heavily though, very gently actually, down to the ankle. Just a bit of work on the fingers now again, make sure it's loose, and just check the shoulder and elbow and wrist. Now my hand comes in, this is the shoulder rotation I talked about just now. Notice how I slide my hand in and roll Moya right onto the side. I bring the fingers in my left hand under the shoulder blade, and the whole of that shoulder is rotated, and I'm using my legs and my abdominal muscles to do this. Yes? See how my body's working as a whole. I'm not straining my shoulders. My legs, there's far more power in my legs than my shoulders. And that's what Moya's shoulder is consequently released. Now I'm placing that arm back there again for a light little neck stretch. Neck and trapezius muscles there with the breath. Having worked that shoulder, Moya says it's okay, please go ahead. Breathing in and then out, stretching. Lovely. Helping those muscles elongate. Lovely feeling. And a little bit of work with the thumb in the back of the neck. You'll see how much more relaxed Moya is now, generally. Yeah. Lovely. Very good. Just to finish off. The next stage is to draw that foot across so the whole back comes onto my knee. Notice how I take hold of the ankle there. And if I do that, just see how simply Moya just slides across. My knee is now in a position where her lower back is going to come onto it there. That's my left knee, and my right knee is supporting the leg. So I'm putting Moya across onto my knee, moving the hand down if it's comfortable. There. Now as she breathes, she can feel herself melting onto my left knee. And the more she relaxes, the more she melts over my knee. The lower back gets hot and melts over my knee, and then I can draw the right knee out. There. Now, the whole of the weight is now on my knee. And because she's breathing with that, she's accepting it. Tension from the lower back is going. Very good. There's a lot of heat comes through the abdominal area in this stage. And you'll notice that the tension in the lower back is directly related to the tension in the internal organs. There's no way you can release tension in the back without releasing tension from the internal organs. It's interconnected. So a stiff back, the lower back especially, is indicative of tension within the organs. It's not just the back. Now I'm going to do the other side for you. Some very difficult camera shots here, so I'll try and give you a nice view. It's just covering what we've just done on the other side. You'll see, pick up a few more points. That's the third one we did on the other side. This is the stretch into the chest. You don't have to follow a particular pattern. This is the Isle of Man. I'll just go through quickly so you can see the hand positions. The Isle of Man stretch. Now the inside leg. There. Stretching. You can see the hand positions there. And into the side position. Instep onto knee. Take it over. Stretch, full spinal stretch there. You can see the position of my hand under the lower back there, and how I'm also supporting with my shin. There we go. So the knee is actually, it went down and I brought it back up again. Now I'm going to show you again, a bit more carefully now. So let's work with the breath. Now you can see my hand there. Very good. Good. Good, good, with the breath. Now the stretch. My left hand is on the hip, my right hand on the shoulder. Moya's head is facing this way, full spinal stretch. Straddle to do a bit of palming on the outside of the opposite leg. You can't quite see that, but you can see Moya's stretch there. Inside leg. Now the shoulder rotation. This will be a good view of the shoulder rotation. Just loosen up those fingers for you. Notice how I hold the wrist. I'm holding above the wrist. Arm over there. Now you'll see the fingers clip into those shoulders. See, you can see how they go right under the shoulder blades. Right under there. And you see that rotation. You see how much more flexible Moya is now. She's loosened up. How I work those fingers into there. Lovely rotation. Stretcher, pressure, stretch, and movement in that action. Love that. It's really, really, really nice to have that done to you. Yeah, good. Now the stretch, the elongation on the trapezius and neck. You can see, change my hands. That's the cross stretch. And then the thumb. Just covered that quite quickly on that side. Now I'm putting Moya back onto my knee. My right knee this time. Left knee slips out. Now the whole weight is on that. And Moya breathes in that position. There. Didn't spend too long. Back down to the feet. Loosen up again. And a double stretch now. There. Lovely for the lower back. Working with the breath, squeezing those internal organs. Lovely, yes. Notice my back straight there. I'm using my feet to do that. My legs, I should say. In Japan, your feet or the legs are called ashi. They don't differentiate between feet and legs. Yeah, pull up there. rotation, different techniques we can do to finish off. Come back now to the chakras to help let go. And that should be extremely relaxing. You can see how much more fluid her movement is in being relaxed. Now the last phase, the last position, is sitting, kneeling, depending on what's comfortable, as explained before. I'm just making contact at the shoulders, and I'm going to apply pressure with my thumbs directly down. My knees are touching the back. When using shiatsu techniques, you usually have 2 or more parts of the body working at the same time. In this position I've got 4. I've got both my knees and both my thumbs or hands. I've also got my fingertips, so several, at least 2. Very rarely would you use just one part of the body. Leaning onto the shoulders now, my wrists relaxed. Using my forearms to show you the different techniques. Notice how more relaxed at that. Hands came down the side. A bit more vigorous there. Straightening her back for her. And keeping that breathing going, of course. In through the nose and out through the mouth, please, Moya. Now I'm going to lift up the shoulders, and as she breathes out, drop. So breathe in, Moya, and breathe out and let go. Once more. Not quite there. Let's try it once more now. A bit of encouragement. Breathe in and out. That's it. She's got it now. You see how I'm training? The recipient learns how to relax, and they can learn to do that exercise particularly themselves. Chopping now. Chopping. Using the little finger there. Very relaxed wrists in my case. Springy hands. I'm using that part there as a spring action. To use the karate chop type exercise is much harder. This is the gentle one. That's the harder one, the karate chop. Be quite vigorous. It's double-handed. Most people like this. Shoulders do like to be worked quite hard. People with tense shoulders especially appreciate this sort of work. And it's just generally thought of shiatsu technique. If you think of shiatsu, I think most people think of this working on the shoulders like this. I'm squeezing those trapezius muscles there, showing you different techniques. Now I'm going to use my thumbs on the head. This is an adult, not a child, so different areas. I'm going across the head now. Various points on the head you can work. In fact, you can work anywhere on a healthy adult. Does help with the health of the scalp and general health overall. Yeah. I'm using mother hand, child hand now. Mother hand on the forehead, child hand working with the thumb. Supporting the back with my knee, so Moya has to do as little work as possible. Yeah, good. Feels very nice to have that done to you, I can tell you. Squeezing the head now. Squeezing. Between 2 palms. Squeezing sideways. Notice how my body is making contact. My hara is making contact with Moya's shoulders. Very close in work. Some shiatsu technique. There. Ideal for someone with a headache, but of course if the person does have a headache you must work the whole body and you would concentrate more on this sort of technique. Squeezing back to front now. The heel of my palm is working that occipital area. Occipital points being worked there. Now I'm going to do those occipital points with my thumbs. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this clearly. The occipital points are at the base of the skull there. If I can just show you what I'm doing. I'm actually working those points. And at the same time, I've eased off now, at the same time I'm helping Moya to release the neck. That's it, I'm doing the neck release now. I'm always learning how to let go. So she's giving me all the weight of her head into my hand. Notice my position. My elbow is actually being supported by my thigh there. My right elbow, my right thigh. I'm actually gently working the neck now as Moya lets go of the tension in that. So she's learning how to let go of the tension in the neck. Good. Squeezing between the thumb and the fingers, very gently. Different areas I can work at the same time. In this stage, I just want you to allow the head to go backwards and forwards. I'm stretching it back now. I'm always working with me to help it stretch back now. Slightly different from before. Now I can work the occipital point again. That's what I'm showing you with my thumb. Thumb's going into the occipital point. That's the point